those tests that they take for the jury trial is the same type of test that you go for certain
Right.
employers, where you have to pretend like you won't steal. You see $500,000 laying on the ground. On
I'm
the
sorry.
test, you got
Did
to
you
say,
wait?
"No, I won't
Let me wait.
return
Hold
it.
on. Let
I
me
won't
stop you
pay."
right there. Let me stop. Did you say you have to pretend you're not going to steal? Did you hear what you just said?
Absolutely.
You just said you have
So,
to pretend. Okay, well, this is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. What this is the black community. This man just sat here and said on a job
uh,
application, I have to pretend that I'm not going to steal, presumably because you are going to steal. Is that what you're saying?
well, if somebody dropped it and I pick it up, it's not stealing. Find keepers, losers, sweepers.
Fair enough. Continue on with your Carmelo
Okay,
opening statement.
so now when it comes to the case, I truly believe that first off, those white boys that were coming over there looking for trouble. The boy, Carmelo Anthony, was trying to get out the rain, and he found the tent, the only tent that was out there. And so the white boy was trying to make an ass out of the opposite team and try to be, white people got this thing where they feel like they could come and control black people, and black people supposed to listen to them as if they some dictator has some type of authority. So what he did was try to make an ass and try to make a clown out of him by trying to make him get out from under the tent so he could suffer in the rain. And so they could sit back and laugh and hee about it.
Does
And
that
so the black
justify
boy
killing
said, "I'm
somebody?
not going."
Does
Huh?
so does that justify pulling out a knife and killing him?
Well, what justify is first off, in order to get stabbed, you have to be in close range. When that boy walked up, when that white boy walked up, at some point he was at a distance to the point where he couldn't have been stabbed,
Right.
and he shoved him once. And Carmelo Anthony said, "Don't shove me no more. You shove me again, and you gonna mess around and find out."
Actually,
Right?
that's not
So he
hold
crossed
on.
the boundary.
Let me interrupt you there, and I'll let you keep going. He said, "Touch me." He said, "Touch me and see what happens." Austin Metcalf
Touch me
touched
and
him.
see what
This is
happens.
hold on. Just let me finish. Then he says, "Punch me and see what happens." That is escalation.
What escalated because the white boy did touch him first,
Okay.
and then Carmelo Anthony didn't do nothing, and so he said, "Punch me and see what happens." Right, and
Hmm.
so and once he did it, he don't know what this white boy gonna do outside there. He run back up and woo out the bam, right, and so it was a quick reflex. Carmelo Anthony was really trying to really destroy that boy like I would have, he would have kept jabbing him. He jabbed one, hit quick reflex, bow, and like, oh shit, and got spooked. And he wasn't like he went to hide it. He told people what he did. He even asked if the white boy was okay and woo out the bam. So it wasn't like he was intentionally trying to, he didn't even know if the boy was dead or not. He didn't know how hurt he was. All he knew was boom. That right there tells me that he wasn't really trying to look for trouble. They was looking for trouble. The white boy was looking for trouble. But since the world keep trying to make white people as the gatekeepers of America, and as if they supposed to sit up here and we supposed to listen to what white people say, just because I guarantee you that boy would have been alive if he did have a problem with Carmelo Anthony sitting there. If he all he could have did came nice like white people used to do with the fake smiles. Hi, how you doing? Hi, my name is Justin. I was just walking up to see you can't sit here. These tents is allocated for only the team players, and
Allocated.
you might
There's
have
no
to
such
find
thing as
somewhere. I
allegation.
guarantee you, Carmelo Anthony would have said, "Okay, my bad. I was just sitting up here to get out the ring." But the boy came aggressive. He came like a gang member. He came banging and felt like he could put his hands. You don't got no right to put your hands on people.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You
So you,
absolutely
you
have
can't
no
you
right to
can't
put hands
tell
on
people how
people.
to respond after not one time but two times. Carmelo Anthony not know what. And then this boy is way bigger than him. He
Hmm.
came with multiple people on his side. Carmelo Anthony just sitting there by himself, or he fought the friend he was sitting up there talking to. And then why he didn't tell the friend to move around?
I don't know.
He
It's a
went
good point.
directly targeting Carmelo Anthony. I hate to say this. I don't know where you stand with this, but I think that that boy got what he did well deserved. Um, I don't feel bad. Just like when white people say the black people that died in the hands of whites, they
Mm-hmm.
got what they deserve. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you got what you deserve. You can't put your hands on people. We are not like our ancestors. And the YNs today is not going to let you do that to them. And I'm not going to let you put your hands on me and what I mean retaliate. It might be with a fist, it might be with a knife, it might be with a firearm. You is not going to do what you want to me. And I just had to sit there and take it. Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Carmelo Anthony had no injuries. He didn't have a black eye, bloody nose, none of that. Are you
He
aware?
was violated though.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: Are you aware of the requirements or the elements required to successfully prove self-defense?
Based on a European standard?
Oh no, it's not a European standard. It's Texas law, my friend.
Who created the law?
Okay. Are you aware of the law? Okay. Since you want to go there, this is not about who created the law. The law.
Are you
is
an attorney?
the law. No, but I mean, I can.
Well, neither
read.
one of us is aware of the laws.
Okay,
You
sir.
got bits and pieces,
Sir,
but
sir,
it was an attorney said he do have certain events.
sir. If we're gonna have this, if we're gonna have a conversation, we can't talk over each other. Okay, I let you talk
yeah, you're right, my
respectfully.
bad.
That's all right, sir. It's no problem. I mean, I get it. And listen, these are gonna be contentious conversations. You know, emotions get high. I get it. I understand. So I'm not gonna hold you on that. But one of the elements required to successfully prove self-defense is that the retaliation has to be commensurate with the action, right? So, and it actually says this on the Texas law. You can't just take out a gun and shoot someone for simply shoving you, right? Just like you can't take out a knife and stab someone just for pushing you or whatever the case may be. Not only that, Carmelo had absolutely no injuries on him. If he had had like maybe a black eye, maybe a broken nose, maybe a broken rib, okay, then maybe I could see, okay, maybe he did have to retaliate with deadly force. But by all accounts, and I would strongly encourage you to stick around, because I don't think you've been updated on a lot of these things, man. Because the things that you're no, hold on, the things that you're talking about here, they're going to be summarily blown out of the water in, I would say, the next hour or so, with all of the updates and evidence that I do have. So now here's the thing.
I think a lot of evidence was removed.
Okay, well, that's fine. I'm sure a lot of evidence was removed, but the
because
evidence.
it's to victimize the white boy and villainize Carmelo Anthony.
Okay, well,
I think the whole test is against Carmelo.
Okay, that's fine. Carmelo Anthony is going to prison, sir. I mean, listen, you can rationalize it however you want to, and I understand. Hold on. I need you. Look, you gotta let me talk. Listen. I'm gonna talk for just a few more seconds, and then I'll give it back to you. Let's just have a conversation. I'm not gonna do this talking over each other. Carmelo Anthony, anytime, and I actually used this example on my live the other day. If you have a reasonable, not even a reasonable, you can have an irrational fear that your life is in danger. And I'll give you an example. Let's just say I'm in my bed, right? And somebody kicks on my door, gets past my, attack dog Fernando, and puts a weapon in my face, right? I am genuinely scared for my life because there is a weapon in my face. The last thing I'm going to do if I am genuinely in fear for my life is say, squeeze that trigger and see what happens, right? Because if he squeezes the trigger, I know what's going to happen. I am likely going to die, or I'm going to be gravely injured. Now, let's take it under the tent. Let's say I'm Carmelo Anthony, and let's say a couple of big guys like Brock Lesnar. I don't know if you follow wrestling, but there's this big white dude in wrestling. His name is Brock Lesnar. If there were two Brock Lesnars that came over and said, "Hey, man, you need to get up out of here," I know that those two men, or even one of those guys, could absolutely destroy me. And if I am in reasonable fear for my life, or being grievously injured or harmed, the last thing I'm going to do is give them 2 warnings. I'm supposed to be afraid for my life. I'm not going to tell him, touch me and see what happens, and then he touches me. I'm not going to then back up, and it's in the court, it's in the evidence, punch me and see what happens. Because here's the thing. The reason why we know Carmelo was not in fear for his life is because he was literally daring Austin to do something. And the reason we know he wasn't afraid is because he said, see what happens. When he said, see what happens, he knows that whatever Austin does, touch me, punch me, whatever, after that, he knows that he is not going to be dead. He knows that he is not going to be grievously injured, and see what happens means that he is going to survive whatever it is that he does so that he can see what happens, which was the knife. That's why I say he wasn't in self-defense.
It says Texas is a stand your ground state. Under Texas Penal Code 931, you have no legal duty to retreat from an attacker.
Right.
If you are in a place you have a legal right to be, provided you did not provoke the situation and were not engaged in criminal activity. So that right there was Karmelo Anthony point of view. He was in somewhere that was public for everybody. It wasn't against the law to be there for him to be there. He did not engage in no type of criminal activity. The criminal activity was engaged upon him. I would say that the white boy brother need to be in prison. He need to be charged for his brother's death because they actually committed a crime and they was premeditated. Basically going over there to commit a crime. He committed assault twice, and his brother died in the process of them committing a crime. So the only person should be going to prison is his brother.
Okay, can I respond?
The boy's brother.
Okay, can I respond? Number one, it's not a crime to go over and tell someone go somewhere. It's not a crime to tell someone get the hell out of here. That's not a crime. Okay. You're right. Hold on. You're right. Putting your hands on someone, that is a crime. Okay. You cannot assault someone. That is absolutely true. But when Austin Metcalf walked over to Karmelo Anthony to tell him to get out of there, he's not in the commission of a crime. So Austin Metcalf was not committing any crimes. Karmelo Anthony, in fact, was both the instigator and he was in the commission of a crime because A, he brought a knife to school. Let me finish. He brought a knife to school, which is illegal. And B, he went under the tent. If Karmelo Anthony never goes under the tent, Austin Metcalf never has to confront him.
Well, you talking as if the white boy, what's his name?
Austin Metcalf.
You talking as if Austin was some sort of authority figure.
No, he wasn't. And I'll actually, hold on, I'll agree with you here. Here's one thing. Hold on. And I'll let you go. One thing that I would say, one criticism of Austin and anybody else under that tent, he should not have gone over there and confronted Anthony. If he really felt some type of way about that, he should have just left the tent and got somebody, hey, coach, whatever. Hey, man, there's somebody under our tent who doesn't need security, right, whatever the case may be. But again, right. He told him to leave. That does not justify stabbing him to death.
No. See, when y'all retreat this story, you keep stopping at. He told him to leave. No, he came over there aggressive. He came over there. He took it upon himself.
Not a crime. Not a crime. Not a crime.
He took matters into his own hands. I do want to see the history of that boy Austin because it sounds like he was a bully. It seems like he was a bully, right? He was bullying on other kids. He didn't just start doing this type of stuff.
Listen, sir, I have to step in. That's incorrect. Austin Metcalf was not a bully.
Incorrect. Do you know Austin?
I'm sorry. Do you know Austin? If I don't know Austin's not a bully, then how can you say that he is a bully?
Behaviors.
Even if let's just say for the sake of argument, he was being a dick. Let's just say for the sake of argument, he is being a dick, right? He's in there bullying people. Da 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 da. Hey, black boy, get out of here. Blah 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 blah.
He assaulted them.
Say what now?
He assaulted Karmelo Anthony.
Okay.
Karmelo Anthony was minding his business.
You're absolutely right. But Karmelo Anthony didn't have any injuries. That's my point. Okay.
And hold on. Responds once you disrespect and violate them. Put your hands on them.
I agree with you. If somebody disrespects and put hands on me, I'm going to respond in kind if I feel like I need to do it. But when you say that Austin Metcalf assaulted Karmelo Anthony, show me the blood. We both played street ball, right? Where's the foul? Show me the blood, right? It is illegal to touch someone if they don't want to be touched. That is assault. But for you to say he assaulted him, that's being disingenuous because you're making an excuse for Karmelo Anthony pulling out a knife and stabbing him. Again, the third element of self-defense means that the response has to be commensurate with the initial attack. That's all there is to it. You cannot.
If somebody come up here and assault you right now, and let's say if I come up, you just sitting somewhere on a bus stop or something, and a few black boys come up there and assault you. They already putting their hands on you. They aggressive. They energy aggressive. They yelling and screaming at you, and you telling them, please leave me alone. Basically, leave me alone. And they won't stop. And they go to push. Now they go from talking until putting their hands on you. You do not know what coming next. So to sit up here and say that, yeah, he just didn't make it to the point where he could have did. I think that it went from this to this. What's gonna come after pushing, punching? You don't know if Austin had.
Okay, let me. You're right. Let me. Hold on. Karmelo Anthony egged him on twice. He said, touch me and see what happens. Okay, that's a warning. Austin Metcalf touched him. Then Karmelo Anthony escalated and said, punch me and see what happens.
Austin Metcalf, he egged on. They weren't supposed to be there in his face in the first place.
Those are the facts of the case, okay?
That's a fact. The fact is, he was there minding his business. Austin came over there. How you just excusing that, all of that? Yes, if you come in, he violating my space. So yes, bro, in threatening me. So yes, I said you touch me.
He didn't threaten.
He didn't. Austin, if you touch me, keep it on. And he touched him.
Okay.
So
okay. Hold on. Let me respond. Again, if I am in reasonable fear that the person or people in front of me are going to either kill me or injure me, or somehow maim me, I'm not going to if I really do feel like my life is in danger, I'm pulling out that knife right now. I'm not going to say touch me and see what happens. He touches him. That's assault number one. Then he says punch me and see what happened. Karmelo Anthony was the one who escalated it. That's what happened. He brought a knife to school, my friend.
The boy didn't have to listen. The boy is the one that didn't have no self-control.
No, so Karmelo Anthony didn't have self. No. Karmelo Anthony is the one.
Threats.
My friend.
Austin was the one that was giving threats. Why is the boy touching him in the first place? Why is he over there in his face in the first place?
Because he wasn't supposed to be under the tent, my friend.
Well, he ain't. Austin not the one supposed to go up there and pass out orders.
Absolutely right, but that does not mean that he deserved to be stabbed and killed.
You can't just go past that.
Okay, let's not go past that. Let's keep it here. So you're telling me that hold on. Let me ask the question. So you're telling me that Austin Metcalf deserved to die for his role in what happened at the track meet?
I think that
it's a yes or no question.
Stopping the threat. He stopped the threat.
It's a yes or no answer. It's a yes or no question, sir.
What was the question?
The question was, do you believe that Austin Metcalf deserved to die for his role in what happened at the Frisco ISD track meet?
Yes, he deserved his consequences, what he tried to do. Yes, he did.
Okay.
He deserved every bit of it.
Okay.
Every bit of it.
Okay. All right. And Carmelo's black ass and Carmelo's black ass is going to spend the rest of his life in prison because the niggas like you, thank you, sir. Have a good day. You are ignorant. You have no idea what you're talking about. Jay Prince, Jay Prince, my friend, I really encourage you to watch today's podcast, okay? Because you are like my guy, you are so uninformed. You are so uninformed, man. You have no, dude.